Expo that looked horrible.
Which one?
All right, we are live.
I mean, at least make me tempted. Like, that game didn't even tempt me. And that game was horrible. And we literally already forgot the name of it.
That's pretty bad.
By the way, they wrong for what they did in that one trailer.
There was some pretty horrible stuff.
You know the one you told me about? Don't say it, Bloodaxe, don't spoil it, but that one. Did you hear the music sting when he catches them?
Yeah.
I almost cried. I ain't gonna lie, dude. They got me because they played the song, man. They did Mad World.
Yeah.
They did Mad World.
Yeah.
And I was just like...
Well, they did it subtly, though.
I know.
They did it so
and
subtly.
I'm sitting there, my son's like, Dad, you okay? And I'm just like, I'm sorry, son. With that scene,
I
man.
think they slowed it down a bit,
Yes, they
too.
slowed it down and just do the...
Yeah. No, I caught that. I was like,
just to remind you, just to make you know what happens. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
but it's so good. It's so much better than everything we've seen in a long time. By the way, Doom Dark Ages does look like everything you'd want in a Doom game. Like, oh, all right, so we're trying not to spoil the next thing. Okay, all right. Let's talk about the pre stuff and then get into it.
Yeah, let's go and get started. Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And on Skype.
If I'm allowed to talk now, it's Bloodaxe.
Yes, you are. You are.
Who? Say it again. Who?
Oh.
Is
All
it
right.
Mr. Bloodaxe?
Before we get into, obviously, what 99.9% of this show is going to be about, which is going to be the Xbox showcase, there are a couple of things that I thought would be worth bringing up beforehand. First of all, I saw this article, which sort of I like and I dislike, and that is that the Fallout TV show could now last 5 seasons. I think 5 seasons, maybe pushing it a little bit.
I think you're making one season at a time and see how it flows.
Well, yes, especially with the comment that came from the creator, which scared the crap out of me, and that was his quote, immensely surprising. So basically, he says the popularity of the show is an immense surprise.
Well, what he says next explains it.
Yeah, and then he says, "We didn't make this show for everyone. We made it for ourselves." And that was an important part of the approach. But you never know how that's going to go.
Go ahead, Blood.
Hang on. So when they say they made it for themselves, I guess the first question, I haven't seen the articles. I don't know if they even go into this. Are they Fallout fans? And they made it as a Fallout fan to themselves, or did they have something that we just didn't pick up on, even though it was still a pretty good series?
I mean, supposedly they
were.
Oh,
no, there was other stuff in there. I picked up on it. It was also a good series on top of that stuff.
I mean,
it was there.
The creator is a fan. I mean, also, P. Hines was also involved in the making of the.
Oh, that just reminded me of the biggest surprise from the showcase.
But yeah, like I said, my biggest concern, though, even outside that we didn't make this show for everyone, is the immense surprise, because the reason we enjoyed the show was because it didn't mess too much with the core
theme and concept.
Yeah. And they didn't get into anything really outside of the game too much. They had some subtleties, but that was fine. It didn't get in the way of the, of enjoying the show. And that's why people liked it. Everybody I talked to, they liked it because it was a good Fallout story.
Yeah, it was a Fallout show. It was about Fallout and was a Fallout story.
It is, and one of the good things about doing a Fallout story is there's so many vaults and so much untold stories that you can go any direction that you want. Mm-hmm. Now, season 2, where it can really either make it or break it, is if they do New Vegas right. Because we have a game about New Vegas, and we know the players in New Vegas, and if they don't do that right, you're going to lose people really fast.
Yeah, we know season 2 is in New Vegas, and that is going to be a lot of it. Plus, I mean, We also know, I mean, how many times, I know me and Q, we play a lot of Fallout, and we've picked up a lot of books and notepads and read a lot of computer screens and got a lot of data. There's a lot to go on. They need to keep to that. Don't make any shit up. You got story, man.
This is where you gotta have
king.
Oh, go ahead, man.
You gotta have the king. If you don't have the king, I'll be disappointed.
I think the time frame is a little too far. I mean, he's going to be old, man. This is a good ways after the Fallout game, New Vegas game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like more than I think a couple dozen years or more.
I think it's a couple
20, isn't it?
20 years, yeah.
Yeah, so King would be like 40 to 60, somewhere in that range.
In his 40s or 50s.
No, hey, they still have him. That's awesome. But like you say, he'd be a much older character, and life expectancy in Fallout is not exactly. You know what I'm saying?
No, but if you're as powerful as the king was, then that should be a character in there.
Wait a minute. When you say the king, which one? Okay, I might be mixed up. Like,
talking about the Elvis character.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
For some reason, I really just had some more fond memories of that character than the other ones in New Vegas.
I had a lot I like, dude, including the Enclave, which they're doing there. The Enclave was very present in New Vegas. Here's where I get where Zeno is saying, though, that neither one of y'all really covered. The biggest issue is that they said they might go 5 seasons. The reason that scares me, and probably what really had you flinching, is that means they may change what they were going to do. Because if you had a 2 or 3 season show planned, and now you want to go to 5, you've got to stretch the story out, which gives you a lot of room to screw up. You know what I'm saying? Or I already thought, as much as I loved the first season, it felt a bit long. I won't lie, it did feel a bit long to me. I know I'm the only person that felt the way, but it did. It felt a little long. Well, they're going for 5 seasons, dude. Then something that might have got resolved in the next season may get stretched all the way out to season 3 or 4. It could really get dragged out. So the question is, are they going to finish what they had? I'm almost done. Are they going to finish what they had and then extend the story with new content to get 5 seasons? Or are they going to drag out what might have been a 2-season story 5 seasons? That's my fear.
14-year difference, by the way.
14.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they were telling 3 stories simultaneously, which did create some choppiness, in my opinion. But if they condense it down to 2 stories, to where you have the Brotherhood of Steel and then whatever the Ghoul is doing, I think that will help streamline a little bit better for me. But the other factions, if they start telling 3 or 4 stories at a time, you're going to lose people who really don't know the game that well and who have short attention spans. So that's something I need to be careful for. But I like the cojones to plan out something that's actually a long, drawn-out project. But if there's going to be filler episodes, and for what you're talking, it sounds like they're probably going to be filler episodes, at least make them good. Make them interesting.
Well,
don't throw in some garbage.
But here is the advantage of 5 years or 5 seasons. If you're guaranteed 5 seasons, you have a start and you have an end. And you don't get those in-between seasons where it ends but doesn't end because they're not sure whether or not they're going to get the next season, And so that could help with the continuity of
Mayhap. I mean, I'm honestly not thinking that this story has 5 seasons in it.
Or you don't rush to shove something in that you want to go ahead and get in because you're like, oh, well, we may not get next season, so let's go ahead and shove this in.
Yeah, the problem is that if looking at the current cast, as much as I like Lucy and the Ghoul, maybe the Ghoul, because he's kind of directionless enough that I can see him popping up as a guest in other seasons, I don't think Lucy and Maximus have 5 seasons worth of story.
I will say I agree with that. But, I mean,
they might have to pick up a new character.
I don't think you need them.
That's what I'm saying. They might. Well, that's what I'm hoping. This was meant to be. That's what I'm trying to say. This was meant to be a 2-season show that I hope if they do 3 more seasons, they pick up a new cast or they extend the story.
I don't think you necessarily need the same characters to do a Fallout show. You make the show about Fallout, the universe, not the characters you're currently following.
So what they might do is maybe add a character in and near the end of the second season that's going to be the one you follow in third season. But I don't think that, and I definitely don't know, I definitely can't do 5 seasons of Maximus. I'll die of embarrassment and disgust.
Yeah, Idiot Savant does not bode well for longevity.
Especially when it's Idiot minus the Savant. Idiot luck.
What's funny is I didn't have the same problems that you did about Maximus, but I think we've had those discussions offline, and then there's reasons for that. But if they went the whole Game of Thrones route to where nobody's safe and you kill off major characters and bring in new major characters along the way, you could have an interesting story.
I could dance on Maximus's grave. Yeah, if he dies off and we get another Brotherhood of Steel character to follow, or even, dang it, I'd rather follow Arcade Gannon. I liked Arcade Gannon, man. He made me like the Enclave. He's a cool guy. So I like him and Boone, man. Best freaking companions. Boone was my boy, too, though. I ain't gonna lie. Boone, the sniper. Woo, they got a lot. See, they can just follow that cast for a while. You know what? Courier. Season 3, Courier. There you go. We wrap up Lucy's story. Let's follow the Courier into, I don't know, because time frames. I don't know what they're going to do. But it looks good. But it is a little worrying to polish it off that the guy said we didn't make the show for everyone. I'm glad it succeeded, but that does make me go, who keeps hiring people who are not trying to succeed at the shows they're making? What kind of idiot are you to hire a person who's like, all right, but I'm not going to make your show for people to like? And I'm just like, they got lucky. What this means is they got lucky, or Pete Hines must have fixed it. Because this guy literally said we didn't make this for people to like.
I don't get. Well, they didn't say they didn't make it for people to like. They said they didn't make it. They made it for them. They
said they didn't make it for everybody, and that translates.
But yeah, I get you.
We've never heard that.
I just don't want to manipulate somebody's words too much.
Okay, they said that, and I'm saying what I said about them. Y'all know I have opinions. You don't come to me and assume I'm spouting fact. I'm spouting what I feel. Now, what I feel is based on everybody else that said that making trash. So it's supported.
I get it.
It is from a sample data.
Well, speaking of hiring.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how that's going to go for them.
Bethesda is now hiring Arcane Austin developers after studio closure.
Got more on that? Because, I don't think Xbox cares. They just wanted to shut down a studio that was wasting its time.
Basically,
they'll just refire them if they don't do anything.
And this is my speculation due to working in similar industry. Basically, if you ask me, this is what they did. They needed to cut costs, and they looked at the studios, and we talked about this. We saw the studios that weren't really performing where they needed to be. Mm-hmm. This is a good way to put some fear of God into your other studios, for one. For two, we have suspicions of certain groups and ideology.
I think they may have been filtering the staff. You could say it. You could say that. They might have been filtering. So
here's my thing. What's the easiest way not to get lawsuits and all this stuff? Because
fire everybody and rehire who you want.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I think sort of happened here. I think they killed off Austin, and they already had a list of the good ones.
The best performing employees. Let's say it like that.
They had a list, and they said,
you say it, it's different, man. When you say it, like they gonna keep the good ones.
That's why I did it.
Yeah. That was cringe. All right.
But yeah, and I think that's what. And they started calling, "Hey, man, man, you just want to come over here to the Bethesda studio."
No, don't tell Sarah. And don't tell Steve. You come over.
No, I mean we're calling ones we think would be a good fit.
We only have a position.
We only have
for
so many positions open, but you were good for us, man. We hate to see you go. So
because there's no way that Bethesda's doing this without Xbox allowing it. I mean, Xbox holds the purse strings. If they're hiring people, it's with Xbox approval. So this whole, they're coming in to rescue. No, if Xbox won't let you hire someone they fired. No company will let you hire a terminated employee that they don't want working.
Yeah.
They're going to go, no, you can't rehire this person. Now, if they're saying, yeah, you can rehire these people, and they said it not as creepy as Xenodamus did, then this works perfectly. These are high performers.
Oh, but yeah. So, I mean, this
and I said this, dude. We're not. Well, we both said. I think we as Dicejunkies even stated. Well, they'll probably hire. We said that. We said they'll probably hire the people they want to keep, and they did. So guess what? They did.
Well, I mean, when we saw where that one studio who hadn't really had the opportunity to do anything yet.
But that's a different one, yeah. But who knows? They may all be getting hired.
That one, they didn't fire anybody. They moved all those people over to another.
Oh, so they just shut that one down.
Studio
you talking about Half-Hour Rush?
No,
you're talking about the other one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the one that helped with Redfall, and that was the only thing on it.
Did. Yeah,
because it only had they just shifted those,
and they shifted these people,
and so basically, they just shifted these people. And honestly, they went to Bethesda and ZeniMax Online Studios, which needs more people.
And like I said, as much as I like Half-Hour Rush, we looked at the rest of their gamography, and out of all of them, they were the weakest. Like, they had one lucky hit. Rest of the games, man, they were a very weak studio. Hopefully, that talent will get picked up though.
This article
they're just saying that, yeah. So I hope Tango will get picked up, and I hope they grab almost everybody that worked on Half-Hour Rush and brings them in and goes, hey, we're going to do more. Because they still own these IPs. We kept telling people this. We're never going to see Half-Hour Rush again. Yeah, you will. They own Half-Hour Rush. Yeah. Like, they own every game. Prey still exists. Thief, Half-Hour Rush, Xbox owns these games.
I mean, the thing with Prey, too, is, I mean, not Austin, but Arcane Studios still exist.
Yeah,
they closed the Austin office.
So these games exist, and we'll get that later more in the showcase, but given how Avowed was looking pretty good, and I think that was the new engine, might see a better version of these games if they continue to use all their assets to improve.
Avowed isn't
Avowed the one where they did the new engine? They went back and
Avowed is Unreal Engine, right?
One of the games you're telling me about, Xbox went in. We covered on the last episode.
Yeah, that's the Unreal Engine.
No, Stalker went from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah. Stalker did, Avowed did.
Like I said, it was looking pretty good, though. Like, either way, upgrading these assets.
But I don't know what engine they were using for that.
What, before? I don't know, but I didn't like it. And so Unreal's looking a lot better. That's all I'm saying. Unreal is a good action engine, dude. I may not like Epic, but the engine's good.
Prey was fine, dude.
I'm talking about Avowed, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you would say Prey?
Well, no. Avowed just upgraded their engine, though. They didn't change it. It was the Unreal Engine before. They just updated to a newer version of the Unreal Engine.
I think they made it that clunky on the previous.
All right. Last up before we get into the show, and hopefully we don't see a lot of booing in the next bit. But apparently, Ubisoft managed to get quite a bit of booze with their Rainbow Six Siege monthly subscription.
They are monetizing a game that's already a full price game. It has plenty of monetization by trying to get you to take a game you bought and now pay $10 a month on it as well. So that every 6 or 7 months, it's like you bought the game all over again because you're an idiot.
That's a month. I mean,
and you know what's worse?
$40 a year, okay, maybe. But you're talking about $120 a year.
Basically, that's 2 games. It's basically paying for the game twice a year. And here's what's really bad, Bloodaxe. Don't forget that we saw with that other game we talked about where they do stuff like this and then turn around and don't include the DLC. It just gives you the other stuff, but you got to still buy the DLC. We've seen them do that. So you do this, and then you may still have to buy whatever expansion they put out.
I'm glad I don't play Rainbow Six. I'd be pissed.
Yeah, they talk about it as a similarity to that
normally free to play games.
Yeah, the free to play Epic game.
Overwatch?
No, Epic.
That is Overwatch.
Destiny.
No, it starts with the F.
Fortnite.
Fortnite, yeah, there it is. The idea of Fortnite with its crew membership. But I will say, I know that Fortnite's Battle Pass actually has enough credits in it so that if you complete the Battle Pass, you can buy the Battle Pass without paying any money.
It also tends to include a pretty decent. Look, I've had to sit down and watch a lot of Fortnite.
And they also are very on Fortnite, a free-to-play game.
And on top of that, I've sat down and watched a lot of gameplay because of my boys. And the content they put in the Game Pass is what the kids want. It's the dances.
Yeah.
It's it's Superman and Ninja Turtles. I mean,
trust me. Look, I did the cardinal sin this week. I went to Oklahoma to visit my parents and my nieces and nephews. And my nieces and nephews play Fortnite. So I did download and play Fortnite with them. I know. Fortnite germs. I will say it was actually fun.
I mean, it's not a bad game.
I
don't like Epic.
I was unhappy that I enjoyed the experience.
I've watched a lot of gameplay. They can't get me, though. They begged me to play. But that's because I don't like Epic. I never said Fortnite was a bad game.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like and I mean, some of the concept's stupid. Superman with a gun. But the main thing is that it does give what the kids want, whereas Rainbow Six has never done this. It's probably going to suck. You're probably not going to get anything helpful out of the dang pass, or you're going to get stuff you should have got for free. Because here's what they're going to do. Here's what this does. Anything that would have been free will now require a subscription. Am I wrong, Bloodaxe?
Yeah. I mean, here's the other thing.
Maps and all that normally would get added?
Because when Gears 5 came out, they had the season passes that you pay for every couple of months, and you get experience boosters and in-game currency, and it's things you could still get by playing the game, but it's going to take twice as long, if not longer, and you're able to get some cosmetics and stuff. If it's cosmetics and they want to pay that monthly fee, great, do it. But if it's going to be an in-game changing event to where the regular people just can't even compete because they have extra gear or weapons or armor, people just won't play. I agree with Flynn. They're just going to say, screw it, I'm not going to play anymore because I can't compete.
Well, it's worse, brother, because I played Elder Scrolls Online, Bloodaxe, so you may not be familiar with this. No, when it's these memberships, it's worse, though. You're mentioning Battle Pass. Yeah, they had those Battle Passes, but you got the stuff. These memberships are often, you only have it while you're actually a member. And if you stop paying that fee, you lose access to it. I know that's what happens in freaking Elder Scrolls Online, a lot of the extra stuff I get.
Yeah, that's usually non-cosmetic stuff that they give you. Like Fortnite is nothing but cosmetic for it. So you keep it. Most of these fighting games is nothing but cosmetics. So I mean, and I will say, I mean, I looked at Fortnite's, and it is purely cosmetic. And yeah, you do. I mean, you get a lot of cosmetics in the Battle Pass. Dances, songs, emotes, all kinds of stuff. Multiple skins and
dude, because of my boys, I unfortunately have probably spent more money on Fortnite than anybody because they ask for Fortnite cards.
Yeah.
I don't buy it, but I give whatever they ask, and they go for my birthday, give me a $40 card.
And I mean, the skins are pretty good. I mean, dude, I hate the amount of times that Billie Eilish killed me this week.
And the dances are good, too. I mean, they put a lot of effort into the animations. I've sat there and watched Jonathan going through the dances, and a lot of good music, a lot of good songs.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of good dances. And then there was a little rock star simulator.
I know. Look, man, my brother is trying to keep me on this game. Apparently, their music thing for the next season might be Metallica. And
we're gonna lose you to Fortnite. Oh, you're so lame.
So
I'm
no, you're not gonna lose me to Fortnite.
But hopefully the showcase will bring you back. But
and I will say,
hang on.
most likely will.
But to say go ahead, man, Bloodaxe.
We can't lose into Fortnite because we don't play with them today anyway.
That's true.
But to put the final thing, I understand what you're trying to say, saying they might not do that, except you're forgetting one big factor about this. This is Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And we've talked about Ubisoft taking stuff back. If there was a company that would do that and go, oh, you stop paying the membership, you lose access to everything that you got in it, even stuff you unlocked with it. This is Ubisoft, baby. Ubisoft will totally buck you down to butt naked and nothing but your damn.
I also just gotta say, I
outfit.
gotta give them somewhat of a cred though, to have the cojones to decide to do a $10 a month subscription charge 9.5 years after releasing the game. It's almost a 10-year-old game.
Wow, really? Jeez.
Came out December 1st, 2015.
You got the right game? That is the game
Yes.
they're doing this for.
That is the
Jeez.
game.
And say pay a membership. So they're trying to monetize a game that may not be worth $10.
Yes. Like, I had to look it up myself because when the article says here,
Yeah, it is
upcoming
year
year
9.
9 season 2, I didn't believe it. I said, no way.
I didn't believe you, and I don't have a reason to not believe you because you're a stickler for this stuff, and it still didn't sound believable. Okay, I'll take someone I said back. Wow, Ubisoft, ballsy.
Yeah.
To go like, you want to keep playing our game? Give us $10 a month, punk. Or you going to get clown. Because you know what? I see a bunch of credits, and I do think guns do come out of Rainbow Six, so it could be a pay-to-win strategy popped on. Bloodaxe may have called it. It may be this is how you get the new sniper rifle.
Another thing is I got to watch out because we just saw the Xbox showcase, and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was looking pretty tight.
Graphically amazing. Well, I mean, why are you worried? We have Game Pass.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, dude. I mean,
I wasn't planning to buy Lords of the Fallen, but I'm playing the heck out of it now, and I played it with Bloodaxe.
I was not expecting what I saw for Call of Duty.
Remember, I got to keep it for my kids anyway, so I have to have Game Pass.
Yeah. All right, well, let's jump into the meat of this episode, and we're already halfway through the episode, so we got a lot to cover.
Look, let's have a solid moment for the many PlayStation fanboys who died of dehydration from all the tears. Because, my goodness, no, I'm not waiting to the end. This made the PlayStation Showcase look like dog water, as the kids say. Like, it was trash. There are games in here I don't like that look so good I wanted to play them. Games we've called out for being, for modern audiences. But they made those modern audiences games look really good.
Yeah.
I'm going like, well, I mean, Song of the South, South of Midnight might, it's on
dude,
Game Pass. I might have
everything I've heard going on over there with Dragon Age, and
I didn't actually like the Dragon Age trailer.
You didn't?
It looked silly.
I thought
They took what I thought was going to be way darker and more
I was
serious.
for sure when they showed one of the people being a necromancer, and usually
I know, but they presented it like Fortnite characters.
Usually
man.
that means that the main character, the
Can be a
MC, can be a necromancer. I was like,
but will it be good? The problem is that.
All right, let's go ahead and
get
start from the beginning here. Xbox Showcase, man. It started off with some Call of Duty footage.
That looked good. And this usually has co-op, so if you don't play with me, I'll drag Bloodaxe into it. Heck, all three of us might
I'll play Call of Duty campaign. I won't do PvP. I don't have the time to put into that, but I'll play campaign.
Man, I got stomped.
The 90s is also a good era for a Call of Duty game. I think, what?
I'm sorry, I just wait for you to follow with, it was the good old days.
No. I just think it's a good time for Black Ops and
I think so too. It's a great time period. Well, the game looks amazing, graphically incredible. The story looks fascinating. We're highly familiar, dude. This is a game made for us. It was 90s heavy. This is made for people that were coming of age in the 90s, and that's us.
Yeah.
Like we were in our teens and 20s in the 90s. That's our major time frame. And it looked incredible. I'm not even a big Call of Duty guy, but the last one I enjoyed was Black Ops. I will admit, Black Ops, like the last Call of Duty, I think it was called Black Ops, also was like the one I played. It was really good. And it looks amazing. And immediately I looked at this and said, I don't think PlayStation's going to come out too well, dude. Like,
here's the thing. Call of Duty Black Ops will be Game Pass day one. So if you have Game Pass, you automatically get it.
Dude, I think everything's Game
Pass.
Pass.
But they are also making sure every bit of that game is going to release to everybody on all consoles, computer, with the same DLCs, the same...
And they said later updates. They are basically saying, we're not Sony jackasses.
Yeah.
We're going to do what we said, and everyone will get everything at the same time.
Yes.
Because we're not jackasses, and we don't want somebody to Squaresoft us.
Well,
somebody come out and be like,
honest,
we're not working
This game is an esport game, and that is the best way to do an esport game if you're going to do it.
And it's going to be. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, not a Call of Duty fan, and I was just like, so incredible. What's that list got for the next one? Because you're trying to go looking for them.
Hang on.
Well,
hang
next
on.
time. Go ahead, Bloodhead.
Did you guys watch the Call of Duty content after the show?
Yes.
So the fact that you can pre-program your setup to automatically mantle or slide or do certain mechanics, things that drive us crazy playing Gears because we get those sticky magnet walls, that's pretty sweet.
Oh, God, Gears needed that. You're so smart, Bloodaxe. I didn't catch that because I was, it's daddy weekend. I only could cover it.
The end here where they started going over a lot of the stuff and how they developed it, it's what sold me more so than the beginning. I'll be honest.
I wish I had time. Also, they said they're going to have zombies, and you say you don't want to do PvP. Dude, zombies was fun. I did love playing.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll play zombies. I think you like it, too. I love playing Call of Duty Zombies, man. It's fun.
Zombies was great. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was very fun. I enjoyed it.
But this I will play, and the fact it's going to be on Game Pass is even better, so I can play it day one. And, dude, we'll run through the story together.
Well, that's another thing, Bloodaxe. With them releasing it on everything at the same time, Xeno will play with us too because it should be cross-play. I mean, choose the word. Not cross-platform, cross-play. It should be cross-play. Now, we don't know about Sony. Sony, hates everybody. But I'm sure PC and Xbox will be cross-play. So that'll be awesome. So we'll actually be able to play with Xeno. I just had to throw that in there that if it's going to do it all at the same time, cross-play should be available.
Yeah.
Yeah, the on and off features for your ability to slide and maneuver, that's pretty tight.
Dude, the maneuverability that they were showing was amazing.
Yeah. Hey, dude, you know me. I'm a running gunner with a shotgun and a knife.
They have one series of screenshots for your button presses, and it takes 10 presses to do it this way, and then we set it up, takes 0 presses to go through the same routine. That's great. That's really good quality of life content from the developer. So I'm excited about that part of it.
Oh, it's good. It allows people to set up their controls to make up for a lack of twitch reflexes for people like us who aren't 18 and, may need it to not. Because you were complaining about Lords of the Fallen about, I got to hold this. And, I mean, you're not wrong, dude. I play Souls-like, and I mess up the hold this, no, now hold that. And I'm like, and I'm hitting the wrong thing, and it's because the setup is clunky.
And then you got the different regions that they count. So there's different for each leg.
Crotch shot.
Hip, lower torso, left chest, right chest.
The 9 hit boxes, and depending on where you get hit is the different animations that your character will actually have when you die. So
I like it.
Man,
we're not going to finish this. We're stuck on Call of Duty, but I ain't going to lie. I'm seeing the good stuff. So already, what I didn't see for the other one, I'm seeing a game that I didn't even expect to be on my radar.
Yeah.
And that's the thing they did to me in this thing as we go through. A bunch of games that I was casually like, whatever, I'm now like, oh man, stop. Okay, wait, dang it. There's so much to cover. Stalking.
All right.
But yeah, and then they did the zombie thing, which was really cool.
I liked zombies, man. Zombies was fun.
Oh, yeah.
And me and Bloodaxe like just wasting time when we just want to vent. So I could see us after work, yo, man, let's go shoot some zombies. We used to do the equivalent of that on Gears all the time.
But
so,
and there's the zombie part.
Here's what's great. It's on Game Pass, too, so we'll actually get to play with some of our Gears friends because they have Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we'll probably see a resurgence of some of our old groups.
All right, so after they did the Call of Duty, they showed us another video, and honestly, this is the one that got me. I was like,
it got everybody. You're a red-blooded toxic male.
Oh yeah,
this is good. Chainsaw shield. And no, and you know what got me though. No, go back. We know what got me though. Everybody that knows Q, you went off the shotgun. You know I'm a shotgun lover.
Oh yeah.
And Doom has the super shotgun.
Yeah,
and it was good shotgun.
Yeah,
it was really good shotgun.
Oh no, dude, this right here, dude, the strap,
grinding the skull to shoot the bow.
Grinding the skull to.
This is amazing. But I am a shotgun.
But the shield also, man.
I'm a shotgun
when he threw the shield, that got me.
Dude, Captain America with a shotgun. Yeah. It's everything I could want. Captain America with a shotgun fighting demons and riding a dragon and doing the Godzilla execution. I was paying attention. You probably missed the Godzilla execution. I did not. Mount grabbed the demon's mouth and shoot down the throat.
Yeah.
I was like, it made my throat hurt. I was like, ooh, that looks like
you guys can have the shotgun. You can have the shield. I want the bloody mecha.
You can have the mecha. Give me the shield and shotgun. I'll kill anything.
But yeah, Doom the Dark Ages looks amazing. You know, and they played on this storyline in the last Doom. If you haven't played Doom Eternal, they sort of talked a lot about the Doom guy's past and this story basically, and now they're coming back and doing, his time.
The only thing they did wrong during this expo, for our purposes, is they never told you if a game was coming to PlayStation. Because I know that Call of Duty is coming to PlayStation, but it didn't say it. Like at the end, it just said Xbox and PC.
So I think most of their games are coming
I do believe
to
the majority
PlayStation.
aren't. I think they're exclusive. But Doom the Dark Ages, is that going to be on PlayStation?
It doesn't say.
I know. The problem is that they didn't say it on games I knew, because they did that for Assassin's Creed. And we know Assassin's Creed's on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I'm looking it up. I'm actually trying to find out.
Sony did the same thing. It didn't say that a game was going to be on Xbox.
That is true. I'm sorry. You're right.
But yeah. And I mean, let's face it.
But it's going to be on Game Pass, so no matter.
Most of this stuff is going to be on Game Pass.
And a lot of it's coming out this summer. Like at least 3 games are coming out this summer. It will be on PS5. But it also be on Game Pass. So y'all have fun. Y'all pay y'all money. We're gonna be rocking it day one.
Yeah.
For like $7, $8.
Next up was the State of Decay.
Man, that looked good.
It did, and I will say it was very I didn't see a lot of mid.
Yeah, and I'm gonna defend it. The guy that was doing the melee, that was a guy. The guy that was driving was a guy. It was 2 men and 2 women, exactly. The driver and the melee character. Yeah, the melee character was a guy.
Oh, okay.
At least, or a very, very, very strong woman, because it looked like a guy. But I liked it. It's another example of, because, dude, I don't have. Yeah, look at that face.
Yeah.
I mean, they put that shit on maybe. Hey, you know what?
I think he dies though.
Yeah, but he dies saving the other character.
I know. I'm
he
messing.
doesn't die like a punk.
I'm messing.
But I liked it. He was kicking butt. And dude, let's be real. The guy without a gun is going to die in a zombie apocalypse. Like, I even said, well, because he sacrificed, he gets the zombies off of her to do it.
Yeah.
And they actually, and instead of doing what some would have done and been like, and walked off, they actually take his thing, they do the memorial. This is what I'm saying. It was so fine, I didn't even mind the flag. Yes, I saw it. You know I did. It was a great trailer. It is well done. This is what I want to see. I'm going to show you I'm a man of my word. I said this before. It isn't what you're putting in the games. It's how you're doing it. That looks fun.
It does look good.
Bloodaxe love zombie. You love survivors and zombies. Maybe we can even pull them in if it gets cross-platform. We'll check for you. We'll find out. And we'll be able to play State of Decay. It should be at least 3-player.
I've played the other State of Decays, and I'm hoping they expand on the survival building aspects of it and not just give us, really rigid fixed parameters on what we can do for our bases.
Yeah, I'm going to need you and Zeno for that, then. Y'all know I don't do. I'll go hunt. I'll be back. What do you need me to get? Bear meat? I'll go get bear meat. Y'all do the building. Dude, my places are Spartan. Like, when I first played Fallout 4, I had a bunch of bunkers. Square bunkers with a cot. But defenses, fresh water, plenty of food. All the other stuff was teched out, nuclear reactors. But for comfort, everyone was sleeping on sleeping bags, and like it was made out of concrete. And then when I got later on, I went back. I said, "Okay, this is a bit rough." So I upgraded them to metal beds that looked like the military looking bed. I said, "There you go, metal bed." And I thought I was a great guy. And I come to his place, and he's got like an elaborate castle. And we're not even talk about Bloodaxe, who's the only person I know who had a series of interconnected castles. Yes, he had you beat. In Grounded, he had a castle with zip lines to another castle. And then I go, we're up here going to another area. And I look up and I go, what the heck's that? And he's like, oh, that's like the third castle I was building. And I'm just like, why do you even need, there's nothing over here. And he's like, I don't know. So this guy builds kingdoms.
No. Look, I'm reasonable when I build. Like, I'm like, oh, man, I've got to put in some kind of entertainment.
Now, I will say, Bloodaxe, that I hate to tell you this, but Xeno now, he puts together a sharp place, though. Like, now, he decorates it. It's just sharp. You decorate, too, but he goes for that first. His place is comfortable. He believes in quality of life.
Yeah.
Like, from the beginning.
Yeah, I got to have quality of life, you know. I'll make sure we get a sink in there. Got to get all the... Even though it doesn't affect the characters that come to the settlements and stuff like that, I always had to have it, you know. Same thing when I'm playing Starfield and I build my bases there. It's like, oh, you don't have to have beds for your people in Starfield. All you got to have is a computer desk to have crew in Starfield. But
I make sure there's enough beds.
But I make sure there's beds. I throw up a dartboard. I throw, some entertainment.
It depends on the game. Like in the Apocalypse, I'm not known. And then actually when I got the Requiem mod, no, Horizon mod, now I had beautifully elaborate places. But like it depends on the game. You know, like he said, Apocalypse game, shut up, sleep on the cot, we got zombies to kill. You give me a more modern game, like I'm with you, dude. I'm like, no, we're gonna live the high life here, baby.
Yeah.
Like
but yeah, State of Decay 3 looks good.
Is it multiplayer? Dang it, I'm gonna have to look this up for every game, ain't I? Because I'm curious if it's exclusive. No, Xbox doesn't care. That's also the thing. They're not. You know what? I don't even have to look it up. Xbox doesn't care. Xbox is not a stickler about being exclusive because they're not a-holes.
Yeah.
I just thought, no, we didn't even need to look it up. They don't care. That's a Sony thing if we don't want to share our games.
Yeah. So the only thing that's going to be exclusive is going to be like Gears and Halo and games like that.
And who knows? They might be willing to put it out, man. They might say, do you want it? Because, again, they don't seem to care. And you know what? I don't either. As long as they're making good games, I don't care because it's more money.
Yeah. All right, next up we have Dragon Age, which you said didn't feel
look
good
bad. And I love that there's a necromancer. In fact, give me the screen of my necromancer. I want to see what the magic look like.
That's towards the end.
This
right
one
there.
I snooped through.
Is, yeah.
That's pretty bad.
And you see undead, but whether you get to use now,
yeah.
If you get to summon undead in this game, I will buy it. Yeah, I don't care if it's on Game Pass. I'll buy it because we know me and necromancy.
Yeah.
But you couldn't in the last game. I just don't trust them like that because in Inquisition you couldn't. And that was the first time that you played Necromancer. But if you can play a proper Necromancer, I just hate that they introduced the characters the same bad way that those shooters we see did it. I didn't like the form of character introduction.
This is a style of trailer I've seen a lot recently.
And I know it. I don't like it. Now, I love Harper and Hardin and his name starts with a V, doesn't it? The dwarf with the Bianca. You know, he was there. It's her and him, the two dwarves. I love that guy. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. It's just old age.
Yeah,
right there. Guy. Yeah, that's the guy, Bianca. He's using Bianca. That's Hardin. That's your scout. I love seeing them. None of the new characters. The best thing about the new characters was the Veil guy's magic looked cool. It looked summonery with the tentacles. I liked his style of magic and the necromancer. And Xeno, being smart, said, I thought you would have liked the trailer because each class you're seeing is a class you could probably play. And I was like, he is right. And they do have a warden. I don't know why they didn't call him a Grey Warden, but they had a warden. I'm hoping they meant Grey Warden.
Yeah, I don't know. But
they did have a warden. He had the shield and he had the pet griffin.
I don't think it was going to be a Grey Warden. I feel like it's
Varric. That's my boy, Varric.
Yeah.
Bianca. I like Varric, man.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's the warden. Is it, or is that one of the other characters?
No. Let's see.
The warden, I think, is black. Like, I think the warden was a brother. And a dragon
That's a
slayer.
dragon hunter.
Which means you could potentially be a dragon hunter. Now, I don't want a dragon hunter, I want a ravager. You know, my favorite warrior class was ravager. Varric and Harden or Harper? I think they'll pop it up in a minute. Yeah, I like that scene. That looked cool. But if I can be a necromancer, that'll be awesome. And it's so Varric to be looking the wrong way. So you're right. I just hated the pop-up screen. It looked like a Fortnite screen, you know, of like, it's the Veil Guard and the Heavy and the Pyro and the Robot. And I was just like, normally the games are a little more serious.
Yeah.
And it's covering a dark topic. If you played the last... Now, I don't know. Maybe this isn't what we thought. Because wasn't the game not called Veil Hunter where you go after...
Dreadwolf before.
Yeah. So...
I think...
but now I'm worried then. What is this game going to be? This isn't going to... Oh, my God. They did show those days a lot. You don't think this is going to be...
I mean, this...
PvP-ish type or a Fortnite-like game?
No.
You sure?
No.
We didn't see gameplay, and it had a lot of those vibes.
No.
Good. Thank you. I needed that. But if I can play a proper necromancer, boom, then I'll buy it. Just because I've always wanted to be a necromancer in Dragon Age. And also Varric is in it, and he's freaking amazing. Yeah. You know? Love the guy.
Dragon Age much, Blood?
Yeah, I think you did.
I played a couple of them. I did play the most recent one in Inquisition. And that one, I bought the DLC and played it. And I'll probably give this one a run. I tried to go back and play Dragon Age 2, but the graphics and the way that it was so sluggish, I guess because the age of the game, it wasn't properly updated. I couldn't play it.
I played fine. Maybe it's because I played it before. I went back and played it like just a year ago. It felt like it played pretty decent.
Oh, now next up,
Shocker.
They announced.
It was bad. So, but I wanted to play it.
Next up, they announced the thing that we've been bitching about for the last 6 months because it was supposed to have been here.
Oh yeah, they did. At Cincy, they have the shop there. Yeah, they did.
It was supposed to be here in January. Honestly, it should have came out when the game came out. And that's Starfield's creation kit is finally re-released tonight.
Yeah, that's the shocker. Like, it's re-released. No, plus a bunch of other stuff. New locations. Huge update tonight. Huge update. I might go back and play.
The big problem with that is it does sound like a lot of the new stuff they're talking about are things you can get in the creation. So I'm thinking they may have worked with some modders and already added that.
They said from local creators. It popped up. But they've added a lot of new stuff to the game and the creation kits here. Here's the part that surprised me. Shattered Space looks kind of friggin' interesting, man. Like, I don't know how you felt about it, but I thought Shattered Space looked like way more than I thought.
No, it does.
It looks wild. Like, I mean,
it's bringing a little bit of mythic to the game, which it needed.
Horror.
It needed that element it was missing,
Well, even the way you were moving, it looks like it's going to change a lot because, like, some of the weapons, the way they were moving around, and the way the enemies were moving, the new enemies, and the horror, and the way they were talking. Characters weren't just doing this. Hi, blah, blah, blah. Like, they looked like they were actually moving when they talked and emoting. It was a shock because I was thinking I would play Starfield just for mods, but this looks like a whole new game almost. Like, I didn't even know it was... Here's the best way to put it. I didn't know it was Starfield at first. I was watching this trailer going like, man, what sci... Because you got to remember I was trying to speedrun it. And I said, man, what's this new sci-fi game? This looks really good. And then I said, wait, Bethesda? They shouldn't be working on a new game. And then I realized this is Starfield. It does not look like Starfield. It looked really interesting. Like, even like there, the way the combat looked, like, Shattered Star looks really good. I mean, I was quite surprised. Like, it looked surprisingly good. The graphics, oh man, like I said, and the weird story, it looks like it's going to be quite fascinating. But that's when I realized it was Starfield, the robots, because I recognize the robots. But that's when I finally realized I did not even recognize the game at all. And that, to me, is the best praise I can give, is that when your DLC makes me think it's a different game and I want that game, you're doing pretty high. Yeah, that thing looks terrifying. It looks so good that I might do like you did and just do a fresh start. I almost want to experience it based on the new content. I mean, look how great that looks. I've been thinking about starting all the way over, and trying the survival elements. I mean, I'm already really high level, so I'm kind of like,
Yeah, they got the new Trackers Alliance.
That's coming out tonight. Yeah, that's not even part of DLC. That's part
new
of this.
bounties and new locations.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that space station that looks cool.
Some new gear.
That
That was strongly needed with some new gear. I will say the designs of the gear.
There's quite a few new weapons.
Yeah, the designs of the gear though was lackluster in the.
Yeah, so I mean, looking good. I feel like oh god, yes. But I think I'm gonna have to go play me some more Starfield. I think I'm gonna do a fresh start. I'm actually considering a full fresh start to give it a spin. That's where I'm at on that. I believe I'm a fresh start at it. I wonder if you'll get a new background where you can already be related to the Tracker Alliance, like you can be from an area. But yeah, that's a new gun. So I mean, we're talking about some cool stuff. So I think it's worth a play, and the fact that this is free, this is not for the DLC. Yeah, looks good. Looks really good. So I'm probably gonna jump back in. No, man, I got that ship though. I can't restart. I got that crazy ship I managed to hijack. The one that you still haven't found. Remember, you kept saying you never did run across it.
I didn't really look for that long because I just built a better one.
Yeah, but dude, it's a really good ship. But yeah, but no, like this is so shocking because I did not expect to be interested in Starfield again. So again,
yeah. So, I mean, basically, the Trackers Alliance is a free mini DLC almost. And then you got the creation kit.
And the modders,
hopefully, because I will say, going back and replaying it, there's a couple of things I immediately went to mod and realized that the mods were out of date and because the modders had given up on the game.
Well, you need the creation kit.
Because, like, the UI still sucks when it comes to keeping track of your inventory, and when you have that many resources you got to keep track of, that's a no, man. It's bad. So hopefully we'll see those things come back with the creation kit and a little bit of life.
Well, that DLC was hot enough to bring people in, because I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
dude, I'm not even a sci-fi guy, so if you've managed to get my attention, you've accomplished something. Heck, and then the next thing from Bethesda, I think the next one is also Bethesda, and made me almost go like, should we go check that out? Like,
yeah, so next after this was the Fallout 76.
Yeah. And the DLC looked interesting again.
I mean, I've heard good things about Fallout 76 recently,
better.
yeah.
Yeah, the biggest issue we had is me and Blood, and it would be the same problem for you, are just not big fans of people.
Yeah.
And man, do people run up and just start nuking stuff, and you're just kind of like, we need to find out about a server, Bloodaxe. We need to see if it's possible to get our own server. But other than that, it was a fun game. When
that's going to be cool. Play as a ghoul early 2025.
So Bethesda.
So they are. They're trying to keep their IPs alive. And
it says Game Pass, which means you don't have to buy it. I'm assuming you're going to get.
Yeah.
In a few days. That's only a few days away. More Fallout 76. So.
Then we have the Claire Obscure Expedition. I must have just flew over that one.
I think that's the flight sim. Oh, no, wait. No. That looked cool. Claire, that looked cool. When you see it, you'll know what it is. That looked really cool. At first, I was like, but it looked cool. Yeah, you don't remember this one?
I didn't pay much attention. I wasn't sure what it was,
Oh no, it turns into a look like apocalyptic sci horror. You know, with multiple characters. The good news is it looks like you have multiple characters you can play. Something we've always liked to see. Now, I don't know if you're forced to switch or if you pick one and play them all the way through. And they imply one of the characters might die, and I hope they don't kill the only male character. But it is an RPG, and it looked interesting. But it's an RPG with a lot of active elements. If you saw, you can dodge, you can do combos. I was watching the combat. It looked very interesting. Y'all know me in combat. And I said, oh, this is almost, it's kind of like Final Fantasy, which had that, remember the one with lightning that had the kind of hybridish kind of combat?
Looks freaky, dude. It looks freaky for sure. But yeah.
You see the
yeah, okay, yeah.
No, and she'll do a parry at one point where they attack. She does a parry, and there's one where you can jump. They actually jump over and attack. So, no, it looked really good. It looked like an interesting RPG. And, I mean, it's coming out on Game Pass. See, that's the key part that I love about this stuff. It doesn't have to see. He actually jumped over. She actually jumped over the attack and parried, dodged, and here she does a counter. I think. Man, that's cold. All right, I got a little bit of a. But like it looked really cool. So I thought it looked really interesting, and if I'm right, I think it pops up Game Pass. Go forward a bit. I think it goes Game Pass. So again, Game Pass. So Game Pass is looking like next year and this year, the value is going to be insane. Like, you know how I was about to literally cancel it? Because apparently they were waiting. And some of the stuff's coming out this summer. There's some July, August, and June releases. So I guess I'll be keeping my Game Pass at least till summer's out. And then getting it again next year, bare minimum, because some of the 2025 stuff looks good. All right, you jump. And to my surprise, I liked this trailer.
I will say,
she wasn't nearly as annoying as I thought she was going to be.
No,
it was really good.
Honestly, the accent, the dialect, it gives me a Louisiana feel. I like for the accent.
It looks better now they got the accent.
I think it works well with the character.
Yeah, the combat though is very reminiscent of Forspoken, which was a very bad game. It looks better than Forspoken, but you are playing a kind of sassy black girl with magic powers, and she moves a bit like it. So, but it may make up for it with just the fact that I was also raised in Louisiana. Even though I'm a Texan, I spent about 10 years in Louisiana. And man, I ain't gonna lie, that Creole, it is a little fun to say a little bit of Creole. One of the games I used to play, Secret World, my favorite setting there was that you would go to a Louisiana area to, hunt monsters and stuff. And I love a good Creole setting. So we'll see. Now, it is a trailer. So it's optimized to be as appealing as it is. So I'm not saying that I trust this, because this is an SBI game. But they made a real good trailer. Enough that I'm willing to keep an eye on it. Because, no, I won't just not play something because of SBI. I'm going to also see if the game looks like it has a bit of potential. But usually it doesn't. They made a good trailer. And this is why I got to say, when you can make me look at an SBI detective game and go, does it look decent? You did a good friggin' job of at least putting your dang showcase together. There's nothing in this showcase that annoyed me.
No. And let's see. Then after that, we had the World of Warcraft.
That's
the
War Within. Me and Bloodaxe, I don't think.
This is the next expansion to World of Warcraft. I've given up on World of Warcraft a long time ago. Yeah, no, it looked good. From what I've understood, the new World of Warcraft material has been bringing some of the players who were playing like World of Warcraft Classic back to the actual current gen of World of Warcraft, because apparently they've optimized it to work a lot better and give us choice again, which was one of the big problems. World of Warcraft, it became cookie cutter when it came to character builds, and a lot of that has gone away. And from what I understand and what I saw, looks to be a continuation of that. And so, the game's old. I would love to see maybe a more updated version personally. but they're gonna just continue to expand on this, and people are still paying a monthly subscription for this game. So apparently, whatever they're doing is working.
I mean, they're getting the money, yeah.
Then there was Metal Gear Solid after that.
Looks good.
Looked good.
I'm not even a Metal Gear fan, but it looked fun. I might try it again because Game Pass.
It was amusing to me. The just the balls of it all. You just no weapons, nothing. Just gonna drop. Yeah, man, you're a one-man army. Good luck.
Snake eater, mofo.
It's a solid snake.
Or at least it's Snake. It's some version of Snake. Snake is a badass.
They called him Naked Snake because he literally went in butt naked with no weapons or anything. So
that was World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I was trying to get to
just drop him in like
drop him in
like a freaking weapon of mass destruction.
It's like who thought this was a good idea? Game mechanics thought it was a good idea.
Hey man, the guy they dropped in pulls it off. That's all I can say.
You mean you're just gonna drop me? I'm just supposed to pick up weapons? Yes, that's how games work, buddy.
Dude, I'm waiting for them till they own it all to just tie us all in, and it's like little do people know that Solid Snake later on went on to become Master Chief. You know what I'm saying? He's just like he's one hero throughout time. Before that, he was hunting demons in Doom Dark Ages. It's been the same guy the whole time. But no, looks good. Again, not a game series I'm interested in. Managed to catch my attention. I don't know how else to put it. Has the non-lethal take now? Do you see him also do a lot of non-lethal
the graphics
and lethal?
are also just insane looking on this. I mean,
like I said, dude, I don't know. They said there's going to be another PlayStation showcase. I hope they take some notes because just when you compare the two, it's laughable. Like, just everything looks better. Other than that Astro Bot game, which actually I saw some more of that. That did look good. So I will take that back. Astro Bot, after watching some extended trailers after the PlayStation showcase, that game looks pretty fun. It does. I'm a fair guy. I didn't pay a lot of attention. Looked nice.
But yeah. All right, let's see. After Metal Gear Solid, we got some
Sea of Thieves, which I've heard is really popular. Apparently it is the pirate game, and now you apparently can be a villain, so I don't have much more to say except that for the people I know who do play pirate games, it's been better than that other crap they put out. So I'm hoping I'm talking about the right one. I think Sea of Thieves is the one that actually was really popular. What was that one that came out that was supposed to be quadruple A that was trash?
Oh, God.
That wasn't Sea of Thieves. That was something else, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, Sea of Thieves is very popular. I've debated looking into it, but it's one of those things that they keep adding on, and it's got a huge rabid fan base. Yeah, but it's not something that I'll probably be able to get into. But I know my oldest son plays it a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, it's right around the corner with July 25th as its release.
The expansion for that. Another game that surprised me because I did not like it or looked interested is Flintlock.
Yeah.
Because, you're going to see a lot of femtagonists. I told Zeno I wasn't going to hold back on that. Like, Xbox has got a heavy femtagonist games, man. Like, 50% of their games are femtagonists. And usually it's a sister with braids, and every now and then it's not. But the gameplay looked good. If nothing else, they know how to put a trailer together in a way that I had to go. It looked good.
Yeah.
Now, I'm probably not going to play it.
Well,
but it did. Yeah. They did make it look interesting. Well, like I said, I didn't like Forspoken either, and it had some high flying.
Yeah.
You need a story too.
And it's also right around the corner, July 18th, 2024.
But it looks interesting. I will keep an eye on it, and if I get the thumbs up,
Game Pass. So
yeah, if it gets a thumb up, I'll play it. But when I say I'm not going to play it, I really just mean I'm not going to be sitting there on my Xbox waiting. I'm going to see if that and the South one, South of Midnight, are actually good. But I'm willing to give them a chance. I'm going to check. I'm like, okay, what's the game about? I'm going to let a few people. I like to get conflicting reviews. I'll probably see what Stephanie Sterling says. I like to get her opinion, and then I'll probably go over and then check out. I got several people that play
Yeah.
And see what they say. This is you. This is
so
all
next
you.
is the
and Bloodaxe. You like this stuff too.
This is one of those Civ type games, Age of Empires. Not a lot going here. I mean, it's
looks almost more like a war game though.
They've cleaned it up a lot and just made Civ is also. I mean, but it's that over top, strategy.
It's a simulation builder / war game, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it looks cool. If I was into this stuff, this looks amazing. I think that's our boy Ra. Man, I think that should be Ra. I know my mythology. That would look like. Curious who they're going to use for the Atlanteans. Because they mentioned the Atlanteans like they're a separate unit, which made me go like, okay, well, are the Atlanteans going to be a separate group of enemies they pull, or is it going to be Poseidon? Because you see Poseidon on this screen. Because you see AC God there. I think that may be the Atlantean one. But then you also see Poseidon, which makes me wonder, is Poseidon going to be part of the Greek? Or is he going to be part of the Atlantean?
But yeah. Age of Mythology, though. There you go. Blood?
This one I probably will give it a swing. And especially since it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a try and see if it's worthwhile. Because those games are usually up my alley.
Yeah, I've never been into the Age of Mythology ones as much. The Age of, Civ and stuff like that's been more my boat. So, this is more Age of Empires.
It's Game Pass, so it's not going to be any extra cash. It's just a little bit of time. So we'll see how.
I mean, they'll be waiting for you. But it looked cool. If I was going to try a game again, it's like. Man, that did look fun, and I would love to grab the Egyptian. I saw friggin' it looked like Anubis running around. I was like, ooh. And oh man, Cerberus looked good. Did you see Cerberus when he popped out of the ground? That looked awesome.
Yeah. Next
Cerberus,
one,
excuse me,
is another one of Q's Fem protagonists. I think.
Which one is this one?
This is going to be Perfect Dark.
Yeah, but it also looked good. Like
it did look really good. I will say
it looked really interesting.
Looking at Perfect Dark, I was like, that, and I don't know if the protagonist is like. Sometimes they'll trick you, because they love to use, like, if they have an option between male and female as the protagonist, they won't tell you. They will usually just show the female and tell you, because it's part of their.
Yeah, but I would imagine they would show both protagonists these days, just because if you're going to have them, you need it for press. But it looks fun. It looks really fun. I like it. It's a sci-fi.
Well, Perfect Dark is not a new franchise, I don't think.
No. Perfect Dark's been around.
So
yeah, Perfect Dark's not new.
Has Agent Dark always been a female protagonist?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I believe Perfect Dark has always had a female protagonist. It looks interesting,
but no, the game looks good.
Spin. Like, again, Game Pass.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, with this type of game, I really don't care so much what. Like, if I'm in third person,
Yeah, Flynn knows more about it. He's saying it's so that it is a remake, and the original protagonist was a woman. Yeah, Agent Dark was a female. There she is.
Yeah,
on the cover.
Okay, so yeah,
and oh man, Kitsune is gonna love that. I think he liked Perfect Dark, so he'll be happy. It says I think he has Game Pass, so that's cool. Hey man, I'll give it a try too. It looks fun. I love a good.
It looked really good.
And again, like I said, it's not what, it's how, and that looked fun.
Yeah.
And they weren't beat. Now again, we don't know if they're just cutting that out, so that's why I always say, with a grain of salt, they may simply not be showing you the egregious parts that will get on your nerves.
Yeah.
Especially for the last two, Flintlock and South of Midnight. You may simply not be seeing that part.
Now, the next two will be fun.
All right. Say something.
So next up, they show off the expansion for Diablo 4.
I loved watching her get tortured. I never forgave her, and you know that.
Oh, I know. Dude,
y'all don't know.
As soon as this came and I watched the misery she was in, I was like, Q is going to be so happy. And I know that sounds bad, but Q called this woman as a traitor the moment she popped on the screen.
I literally, when she popped up, I said, we can't trust her. And then we met her mom. I said, see, it runs in the family. And he was just like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, that's just her mom. And then later on when it happened, I just looked at him. He's just like, how? And I was like, dude, I didn't like her from the beginning. And she betrayed us. And and I love the way Mephisto's like, no, you made this choice and I told you there'd be a price. I love that he's not like, he's like, no, this is happening because you did this. This is you.
I mean, dude, I don't know, though. This looks horrible.
Yeah. Betray me, you little. I told you not to steal the stone. I told her not to steal the stone. I told her to kill him. I said we need to kill her after we kill her mom. She's going to betray us. He's like, you're being silly. Later on, boom. Look at that poor guy. He'd be alive if you'd listened to me, and we'd have killed her. We could have killed her in the story. That guy'd be alive. And Mephisto would be like properly trapped.
So Diablo Vessel of Hatred coming October 8th, 2024. Will this save Diablo?
Because I don't think so. Because you notice it does not have Game Pass on it. That's going to be for sale. I'm not willing to pay for more Diablo. Sorry. It's not a bad game, but it ain't worth dropping another $30 or $40.
Yeah.
If you put it down for 10, heck, for 10, I'll buy him a copy. I'll get everybody a copy for 10. $10 is fine. I'm not paying 30 or $40.
Yeah.
Definitely ain't paying 50 or 60.
And then after that, they decided to show us the Fable trailer, which is still all cinematics. Now, I will say
there was a little bit of walking around, but
no, I'm
when
pretty
she's
sure
in the
this
village,
is all
when she's
cinematic.
talking to people.
Yeah, but that's still cinematic.
There.
Is that not cinematic? I think that's cinematic. He is telling a story of her. Now,
No, he's telling the story of the villain, if you pay attention, because the villain shows up at the end.
Which I think is her.
No, you see him. Like, at the end, you see the person, like, their hand glowing. I'm hoping it's your sister from the first game who's reappeared.
No, if you hear, it's her voice.
She's back.
No, because there's the protagonist right there.
That's not her.
Yeah, it is.
No, she's not ugly enough.
Yes, she is.
No. Is that the protagonist?
She's back.
Yeah, I think that's her there. And then you see this. Like, you see the hand.
I'm going to fix it, this place. And no one is going
to protagonist.
No, it's
to stand in my way.
Yeah, that is antagonist.
See, that person has a staff.
Okay. Now,
either way, I'm not hyped for this because
my thing is this better not be the only protagonist. I'm sorry.
Dude,
every Fable, you've been able to choose between male and female.
But it's voiced now, and the voice is what gave it away. Because because if that is the protagonist, like I'm saying, then she's voiced. If she's voiced, then she's probably the protagonist, because that's also why they didn't voice your main character. Right? That's why they didn't voice your main character. I think this Fable has a hard set protagonist, and is what I'm not going to play. So they did not win me over. I'd rather play South of Midnight. It looks more interesting. Or Flintlock than this, because it has not caught my attention, because the fun of Fable was telling my own story. All right?
Said it's a trap.
That is true. Now, Lionsgate used to lie about, or whatever they was, Lionshead used to lie about these games back and forth. But the fun of Fable was making your own character. That was what it was about. Making my own hero and telling my story and making choices. This almost looks in a way like you don't even have any choices. It looks like the story's a little bit hard set. And I'm like, ooh, I kind of want to do my own thing. So I'm not. This one did not get past my initial concerns. What about you, Bloodaxe?
Oh, yeah, no. When I was watching, I was bored.
It's still on my list. Yeah, it's still on my list don't want a part of it.
Unless there's some really amazing reviews, or if the story ends up being, really, really good, this is not something I'm interested in playing.
I want to make my own protagonist, man, for this game. That would be like a Skyrim where you don't get to make your character. That's literally where I would see that. That would be like Skyrim 6 going, we made your character for you. I wouldn't even want it. Sorry. So, no, Fable was not a land for me.
All right. I'm going to skip a few of these just so we can get further on. I mean, there's Frag Punk.
That's a 5v5 shooter.
Winterboro.
That's the mouse
mixtape.
That looked great for people who like that. That's more the Life is Strange crowd, which they have down there as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Microsoft Flight Simulator.
If you're into that, it looked good, but it looked good.
I mean, Microsoft Flight Simulator has been the cream of the crop flight simulator.
It looked good
for over a decade.
Elder Scrolls Online has an anniversary and Golden Road coming out.
Yeah.
Did cover that somewhere else, though. Indiana Jones looked good again. You get to see more of it.
We'll jump over to Indiana Jones.
I want to jump to the one after it.
Make a break, yeah.
Dude, that looked like Ben Flynn's got to be in the chat waiting on that because me and him are big Zone of Enders fans, and that had some Zone of Enders vibe. It's so good, I'm talking about it over the Indiana Jones.
So here's the Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones, dude, surprisingly,
looks amazing.
Looks really good. And, I mean, the story seems like it's going to be an interesting story.
Voice acting, everything well done. I know. I mean, the thing is, we've kind of covered it.
I mean,
it's going to be good.
How did Disney not get their fingers too deep in this so far?
They must have started on this game before Disney got involved or something, and Disney's not. Well, you know what? They may have just bought the license rights.
Yeah.
They probably bought the license rights and then said anyone that looks like Kathleen Kennedy's not allowed in the office.
I don't know, because the Lucasfilm Story Group was supposed to go and be reviewing a lot of the game content after EA lost their licensing a while back. So maybe they're not as hardcore about Indiana Jones as they are about Star Wars.
Dude,
games.
if they had a solid contract, it doesn't matter, though. They got the license. You could do what you want with the license if you're making a game.
That was part of the original license. Like the whole thing with the Lucas games was that they would let anybody pretty much take a license, but they had to have their board basically take a look at anything that was made before it was released to match, what they want. So, I mean, here you see Bethesda and Lucasfilm games.
Well, it could have been, maybe it was saved by the last Indiana movie. That thing was so terrible that they might have said, you know what, shut up. Like Disney maybe said, like, no, get the hell out of here. We saw what you did.
Now, this looked amazing.
Zone of Enders, baby. I'm waiting on my boy Flynn to say something because this got a real Zone of Enders vibe.
Yeah. I was expecting Blood to be excited about this one.
Oh, I am.
This is not really my alley, I'll be honest. It looked awesome, but it's not really...
Really be playing Fortnite?
Yeah. Honestly, I probably would rather play Fortnite than this. But I'm just not a big mecha person unless
Dude, this is closer to Dragon Ball Z than mecha almost, man. This battle.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm more curious on how the customization of the mecha is going to be because that's what I'm into. I'm into building fucking badass mechas.
It looks like
not so much all the sky battles and stuff like that.
Well, this looks like this is going to be a game to give Armored Core a run for its money because the battles are massive and intense.
And it looked faster than Armored Core.
It is way more than a mecha game. Oh, yeah. It looked fast, hype. The vehicles kept transforming. Remember, did you see the one that turned into a huge tank turret? Like, it stopped and planted and just started blowing everything up as a turret. I like the transformations. I'm hoping that you get to customize your mech. Oh, you always get to customize. I hope you get to build your own mech. But even if not, it looks like a fun mecha game. I'm definitely getting my hands on it. The only thing I hate, did not see Game Pass on this one.
Yeah.
This one you might have to buy. Well, you know what? I've got to buy so few games.
Well, this is actually, and that's the thing. This is coming from Amazing Seasoon Games. Season. So not a Microsoft subsidiary.
That makes sense then. So it's probably going to be it's probably going to be on PlayStation also then. It may be multi-platform as well. You're going to take a look, make a break. Now, it may also be multi-platform because, again, they don't tell you.
Mecha Break is, listed for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox.
Yeah, so it's a multi-platform game. Why the heck didn't PlayStation show it? It looked amazing. When you think about the trash they decided to show, because I didn't see anything that looked interesting in there. This looks way more interesting. Like, this is the hype. I would have had to give them props, but they gave it to Xbox. Idiots. Because, I mean, I would have had to say, hey, dude, that Mecha Break was pretty cool. But now I'm saying that for Xbox, and I mean, ain't my fault. They didn't mention it at PlayStation.
Yeah. Not familiar with this company, though. Amazing Seasons.
Chinese or Japanese. Like, the site isn't even in English, it looked like.
And they want me to log in to be able to even see the...
When you searched for it, though, it wasn't translated. But yeah, don't worry about it, man. We got too many games. Let's keep going. But it looks great. Like, me and Bloodaxe will be... Well, the thing is, we got to see if we want to buy it.
And I'm hoping it's co-op.
Get Game Pass, Flynn. You're talking about so many games, a little money. This is one of, like, 2 games that isn't on Game Pass. So I'm like, no, they've been putting everything on Game Pass, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Now, there's a beta coming in August. So.
That'll let me know if I want to buy it. Perfect. Bloodaxe. Remember that. August beta. We need to get in that.
Now, the next one is
another game I wasn't interested in, but now it looks good.
Chinese style. I will say this one didn't catch me that much.
It's another femtagonist, but it did look fun.
I mean, it looked interesting.
I mean, we're going to get a name.
I don't really get in Chinese games at all.
I think it's Wu Chang.
Yeah.
Wu Chang. Let's go to the screen and list all the games. Wu Chang. Again, the trailer looked surprisingly good. So I'll give it a go. And I think it's another Game Pass. You know, I think it is. I believe that one's another one that's a Game Pass. So
yeah,
I believe so. Yeah,
Day One Game Pass.
Dude, look how much of that says Day One Game Pass, man. Like, yeah, nearly everything says it.
Yeah.
Like I said, you don't have to buy the vast majority of these games. Let's see. Let's see what we got left. Go back to that screen. Or because I need to know the name of the games. Avowed, which to me was looking a lot better this time. You know. And
I didn't get much out of Avowed, man. This trailer, it wasn't. It didn't stagnate much on things. Like, I mean, you have a little bit of walking here, but they keep the they keep.
Wait, is that a flashlight?
No, I think it was a wand or something.
That was a flashlight.
Oops, now we're on Assassin's Creed. I've lost my spot.
Yeah, you're screwing up. There it is. The Dream Scourge. I mean, I didn't see anything a lot new, but, like, the magic looked good in one of the shots. It actually looked pretty cool. Yeah, that was it. The magic looked good. The enemies looked like they move a little better. Oh, yeah, there's a shot where he freezes, or he or she freezes the enemies and then shatters them, and that looked cool. Yeah. I like that interaction of freezing and shattering. The traps look wild, you know. So it looks like it could be okay. And again, I think it's another one of our Game Pass. So worth a Game Pass.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
And they upped the engine, and I think they needed that update. You know, the Unreal 5, I believe, is a good engine. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to definitely, unless I just get a horrible review off of it before I load it up, I'll load it and take a spin. Because again, Game Pass. That's what's crazy about this is how much stuff. It's so much stuff, and this is on Game Pass. I don't know how they're gonna make money. Because this is just like so many of the games are on Game Pass. I don't even understand the business model at this point. Well, I guess there's people like me that keep it all year round because of this. Maybe they make more money off the subscriptions. Because, you know, they're consistent. But, I mean, if I get to play like 8 games, I'm ahead on that.
Next up is this Rebellion.
Adamfall looked cool too. Like, you get a little deeper into the trailer, Adamfall looked interesting. Because at first, you know, you're like, okay, look at that, soldiers, whatever. But then, like, later on, you start seeing robots, and I love that gun. And then it keeps going, and then it gets into missiles, and then you get into monsters. Oh, that's where the flashlight was from this. That wasn't Avowed, that was this. And it looks like, you know, apocalyptic exploration game RPG. We don't know much beyond that, but it looked interesting. Unfortunately, it does not look multiplayer, but we don't know. We could be wrong. But definitely looks like another single-player game next year to play, and it's Game Pass.
Yeah, it looks single-player. I'd be shocked if it was multiplayer co-op.
Next, they show off more of
Assassin's Creed.
Somehow
they make it look better on this one, too. I'm still not going to play it on principle because I'm downright insulted by what they did with my boy Yasuke. But like, my homie, but I don't like what they're doing there. But so I'm boycotting that. But
then we have Stalker 2.
Good.
Stalker 2 looks amazing.
Good. I wish that was co-op. I really do.
Oh, dude, don't break my heart. I know.
I will say Stalker 2 looks really good. So looking forward to that one.
It is an RPG, Atomfall. Just to say, Atomfall is considered an RPG. Awesome.
Then they announced the new consoles, which nothing really exciting there. Honestly, I don't know why they didn't just get rid of the S altogether. I don't think they need the S anymore. The S has caused enough problems with its hardware not being good enough. Just do the Xbox X digital version, and then the 2 terabyte special edition. There's no reason for the S anymore.
You're not wrong.
And then I think next was more of the Call of Duty stuff.
Yeah, they covered stuff you'd already seen.
Oh, wait, Gears of War.
Oh, the biggie.
Yeah, E-Day.
Beautiful
This looked
trailer.
amazing. I'm not a huge Gears fan, and I was like on the edge of my seat.
Well, this is when it all went down. This is the part.
Blood, I'm gonna pass it to you. So
this is Bloodaxe.
But this little cinematic fight they had, I mean, I was on the edge of my seat.
When I saw the red world premiere, because all the other ones were green. When I saw red, I'm like, is this finally the Gears reveal that we're looking for? And then when you saw the cog symbol with the wings on the TV in the background, I'm like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah, here.
And then the do-rag. I was like, so what are we doing? And they're doing E-Day. And I've been pounding the table for E-Day for years as a way to try to reset the franchise, going back to what we're used to in Delta Squad. Now, since this is 14 years before Gears 1, it is definitely a prequel. It's set after the Pendulum Wars. But this is going to be interesting because we get to team up with Marcus Phoenix and Dom Santiago again, which we see Dom at the very end helping his boy up. This is going to be fun. Now, I am kind of concerned that we're not going to have escape mode because that's way, way, way before escape was even a thought. But I am kind of curious if they'll bring back the beast mode option that we had back in Gears 3, because that was a blast.
I mean, they can put whatever mode they want in the game, man. I mean, they can add on multiplayer any mode they want. It doesn't have to have a story.
If you skip to the end, the video does not say Game Pass, but the article that you pulled it up did say Game Pass Day 1. So
yeah, it said right after the end of it, play it Day 1 with Game Pass. You may have missed it because they did like a red flame instead of a green behind it.
Is that what? Okay. Yeah, but I was jumping out of my seat when I was watching it anyway. So,
and that's what you heard us talking about, that I almost teared up because they hit the Mad World chord,
dude, yeah,
when he pulls them up, and I was like,
because I was going to ask, like that was one of the first questions I was going to ask you if you caught that chord.
Of course I did. I almost cried in front of my son. I was like, and I literally said, what's up, man? You know, I was like, been a while. And here's the part I have to cover because Bloodaxe didn't say nothing. Here's what makes me optimistic about this. Is unlike Gears 5 and the direction games are going now, they showed, not tell. There's no dialogue. They don't tell you it's Marcus. You see the tags. Mm-hmm. You see the
he hands him the do-rag.
The chord. Yeah, the chord that plays is the one for people who know Dom and his whole story. And thanks, brother. And it's just like, that's what Gears 1 and 2 and 3 were. They were gritty, action, not a lot of blah, 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 blah. Oh, this is so-and-so and she's looking for her mom. But the curse of blah, blah, blah is just a fight.
Because you went through the entire the first Gears of War game Don was looking for Maria, but heard no word about it. When he talked to what was the I can't remember the stranded guy's name. He goes, "Hey, I haven't found any information out for you, but I keep looking." You had no idea. It was an ongoing thing until Gears 2 when you finally figured out what's going on with it.
Dude,
but I
when
mean,
you
it's
find
always
her,
been
again, they showed not tell. They didn't go into a whole, oh no, they just show him seeing her. I can't spoil it. But show, don't tell. That writing style Bloodaxe that left us floored when we saw it. It looks like they're doing that again.
Well, dude, like I said, dude, me, not a Gears fan, didn't ever play Gears until 5 with you guys a little bit, knew immediately who the characters were, just from the story I'd heard. And, and as soon as I saw it, I knew it. And I was on the edge of my seat because
it was a good fight.
Not even being invested like you guys, it was just good showing. And then the cord, like you said, the cord in the back, like I was just like, that's awesome.
That hits different, man. It was amazing though.
Yeah.
It hit different. I was like, dun, dun, yeah, man. What's up, bro? It's been a while. And me and Bloodaxe called this, so we're backpatting, and I'm especially Bloodaxe by more than me. Now, I only called that they could not move forward. You remember Bloodaxe? I kept saying they messed up the ending of Gears 5. You remember we kept saying, how do you go forward from here? No choice you make is going to be okay. You screwed yourself. Right. You wrote yourself into a fuck shit stack. Back, remember Reggie Watts back this fuck shit stack. Boom. It was so bad. And Bloodaxe, though, said, and then they should do E-Day. And I was just like, no way they're going to go back and do E-Day. I mean, that'd be great, but now though, I'm going to add on because I want to make my boy smile even bigger because Bloodaxe, you know what this could end up doing? They're doing E-Day. They could roll this into a soft reboot and change all that BS from Gears 4 and 5. They could roll that in and keep going and just kind of write off 4 and 5 because they've been doing reboots a lot lately.
Yeah, and the thing about Gears that not everybody is aware of is when you start Gears, the Gears of War, the first game, that is 14 years after E-Day. Marcus was in prison for 4 years from leaving his post to save his dad. So you have up to a decade worth of time that you could tell stories with Dom and Marcus.
And even if they have to, they could follow other characters and just go. Like, honestly, keep the story going with the other team with Baird, and or even introduce other characters that you could end up picking up. Because honestly, I think, and then put that in the background. Then you're not as bothered if you're hearing about the Gears 5 character story off to the side while you're playing a different story. And you just make that background noise. Oh, apparently it was Dell. Okay, all right. Well, who cares? Oh, Caitlyn found her mom and would turn into a bug queen. Who cares? Keep going. You just get to avoid the stupid crap that was happening there and tell a better story. But you are right. I actually have another prediction. I believe this will be a trilogy. I do not think this. I think, like you said, with over 10 years to work with, I believe this may be a trilogy of games because they like to do trilogies. They may do E-Day 1 all the way up and finish with Marcus getting jailed. You know what I'm saying? Like with that arc.
Dude, it just wouldn't be the first time that they just completely redid a game and gave no fucks. How many games have we seen where, it's just like, wait a second, that's different. Okay, I guess they're going a different route. All right.
I would love it if they did, because honestly, I didn't like some parts of Gears 3 that much because I felt like they kind of fast-tracked the story and didn't cover all of the points that needed to be finished off well because they just kind of said, okay, we're just going to blow up all the locusts. And I was like, there was a lot of hints about the experiments and stuff that I felt needed to be followed through. I would be up for a Gears reboot. If they did this and this does well enough and they don't make this a trilogy, but they decide to roll into a retelling of Gears 1, 2, and 3, maybe condense them down a bit, and then just skip the whole... Because what they did to... Was it Tanya?
Anya?
That's Anya. What they did to Anya, the off-screen death, was lame. I liked Anya. She deserved better. It's like killing off Ripley off screen, man. It was bull crap. I don't care about spoilers. This game's been out for friggin' like 20 years. It sucked. Even my boy Flynn said 4 and 5 sucked. Yeah, I would love it if they turned this into a soft reboot because it looks great.
I would love to see how develop Bernie a little bit, because if you read the books, Bernie was a badass sniper.
Yeah,
and you didn't really get in a lot of that story in through the video games. So I'd love to be able to see some of her development. I am kind of worried that we're not going to see Cole and Baird, because you kind of realized in Gears 1 that they didn't know who Marcus Phoenix was. I mean, Baird's like, "Who the hell are you, asshole?"
That doesn't mean that you may not see them. It just means the stories may not get that intimately crossed.
Yeah. But having Marcus and Dom in a co-op game again, just the nostalgia factor of being able to play those characters is going to be phenomenal.
That's how they can make it a trilogy.
And
they could have the other game be Cole quitting the football or smash ball or thrash ball and joining the army, and Baird joining the army. They could do those two, and then a second game is Cole and how they became, because they're really good friends. And I never really got the full story of how that developed.
And then the third one be a reboot of the first game.
I mean, I would, and if the third one just redid the story of Gears 1, 2, 3, I would be for it. I would totally buy into a soft reboot if it means that Kate never exists, or at least they change her story. And honestly, I wouldn't miss JD either, or make JD not so lame. And but if you're gonna do that, and I wouldn't like to see Dell again. I liked Dell, but you know what's cool? Well, you know who we will see? I can't believe I forgot his name. The big dude with the tattoos that when you rescued him, Ty. We never got Ty's story. And the way they talked about how badass Ty is, I wanted to know why Ty was so respected.
Dad, or at least from the same tribe. But being able to get more information from Hoffman, I think, would be interesting as well.
Yeah, you get to see Ty. You'll probably get to play with Ty, and there was another. Oh, and you might get to see your boy Clayton in the early. Oh my God, will we get to go through training with Clayton?
The Carmines, yeah.
Clayton trained Marcus, didn't he? Marcus and I got brain barb. You know what I mean? He trained them. Dom.
I think so.
Yeah, I think he said he trained them. That'd be awesome. I'm excited for this. This is exciting too, and this probably is exclusive.
It's probably like 2025, 2026. Which means it'll be 7 years between Gears games, which is a long, long time. If they're going to do a trilogy and they're going to do 5 to 7 years apart, we're going to be, really old by the time we actually get to see the third one.
Hey, man, I just love to see them fix their jacked up story or go another direction after they tell this prequel, because I just don't think the Gears 5 story is recoverable. I think that it jumped the shark. It's the Crystal Skull. It's not as bad as the last Indiana movie, but it's the Crystal Skull of the arc, man, where they're starting to lose the farm. And you're like, ugh. That's what I felt about, 5.
I was digging the Crystal Skull because, it's part of the Aztec or Incan religion. And it was alien. I'm like, you went from religion to aliens. You just completely lost me with that. And same thing with Gears. The first 3 games were about brothers in arms, fighting together as a squad. And the fourth one was like, okay, we're trying to reset with the kids. And now she's a descendant of the Locust Queen. What? Yeah, no.
And also they keep changing the stupid name. No, it's not the Locust, it's the Swarm. I'm like, what's the difference between Locust and the Swarm? Nothing. It's the damn Locust. And I'm just like, at least the Lambit, you knew what they were. They were different. You knew why they were different. It was parasitic, stuff was in them. But, the Swarm, from what I can tell, is just a friggin' Locust, but they're under Katie's mean mommy. That's the only difference. She's calling it the Swarm now because it's Kate's mom running it and doing a really bad Kerrigan impression.
Yeah, because they say it's 14 years before the events of the original.
That's room for at least 3 games.
That's it.
Definitely 2.
Well, it's 14 years.
Oh, but he spent 4 in prison.
Because Marcus was in prison for 4 years.
Okay.
So we got 10 years to play with.
And if they wrap up the third game with Marcus leaving his post and the decision that he made to go AWOL, that could be a very serious game-changing moment as a climax for the third game.
Yeah, and if it does really well and has enough money, they may go, all right, we're going to reboot Gears 1, 2, and 3. What about 4 and 5? We're going to reboot Gears 1, 2, and 3. Then we're going to have another game that's not Gears 4, but is a sequel to the reboot. Because, dude, they changed stuff in the other reboots. If you've been paying attention to Resident Evil and stuff, they play around with some elements. Like, they did. Some of these reboots do play with the story a bit. And I don't mean they have to get rid of JD and Kate and Dell. I just think the direction they went could either be better told.
Yeah.
It could be better told. Like you said, tell it like it's a brothers in arms and sisters in arms story. So it doesn't suck. And then maybe by the end of the game, then rebooted Gears 5, the decision won't just seem like you're shooting your series in the damn foot. Or even better, you don't make it a decision. You make it a well-told story so that you don't make it impossible to follow the dang thing up. Because, yeah, as much as I hate what happened to our boy, you know who I'm talking about? I'm glad it wasn't a decision. It needed to be a hard story point, or else I never would have been able to go through with the decision. And it wouldn't have hit the same. Sometimes you don't make it a freaking button prompt that completely ruins immersion as it pops up and has hit A for this one or B for that one. I'm just like, ugh.
That's ridiculous.
It killed all the gravitas, man. They didn't even know how to do it right.
They did talk to the team, and apparently they say, it says, Falsetti confirms to me that E-Day is a story of many origins, including the Chainsaw Lancer, but opts to keep the specifics of those stories to herself for now. Suffice to say, we're not just learning how Marcus and Dom came to be heroes.
But I'm kind of curious to see how far into the Hammer of Dawn story, or if they even break it.
Yeah, that was a big event.
Yeah, because that was a huge point of contention throughout the series, which is why the COG were hated by the Stranded so much, is because what they did with the Hammer of Dawn.
The Tears of Fears cover of it too, the darker cover. Of Mad World. Sorry, man, that Mad World trip. Well, another thing is I forgot, dude. You still got the Pendulum Wars too to play with.
Yeah, but that was before E-Day.
True, but I mean, they got it to play with. We've met characters from it. They introduced them in Gears 5.
Yeah, I mean, and going back to Carlos' storyline, Dom's older brother with them and their excursions into Aspo Fields, actually trying to steal the plans for the Hammer of Dawn. That would be a really good story, but I think it takes it away from Gears into more of a Call of Duty type situation, as opposed to, it's the COG versus the Locust. Now you have the COG versus the UIR. And the
only other sequel option. Oh, go ahead, brother.
I just think it changes the story too much for me, to where you're fighting other people versus you're fighting the Locusts.
It's not gonna be the same game. You're right. It would play very differently. Now, the only other viable sequel is my thing that I put out that I'm glad they're doing E-Day. Actually, I really am. I'm actually glad that you won that one. But I told you the only other way I think they could follow up Gears 5 is they just do Gears 6 is just Scorpio, man.
Yeah,
they just follow Scorpio.
Well, I will say, man. I mean, and this is coming from just somebody who's taking in the information from reading this and what you guys are talking. They do mention 4 and 5, specifically 4 and 5, and that they were happy with those stories and they are going to continue from there.
But they said we're not retreating from that storyline in any way.
Yeah,
which means they are. They said that.
Well, because they specifically mentioned 4 and 5 as well, that means they also know 4 and 5 is the problem. So what I'm guessing what they're going to do here, and this is how I would fix it without having to retreat, is you introduce some new elements in E-Day that you then merge into whatever comes after 5.
Or they could split the stories and be like, okay, we got their story over here. You know how they'll do the games where they'll have, we've seen that. Maybe they'll diverse the games, and then that game can go off, and no one can buy it, and it can die. And then we can play with the story that's good.
Most likely they'll try to do something in E-Day to add some gravitas to.
But the fact it was mentioned, man, good job. No, seriously, Bloodaxe, what he found here, I don't know if you see this article. That's good, because they mentioned the Gears in 5 and say, we thought it was good, we're not abandoning it. They know those games suck.
Yeah.
They have, it gets mentioned repeatedly there. We're not abandoning it. We don't think it sucks. That means it sucks. And even they're saying, no, E-Day's not a spinoff. It's a new entry in the main series set early in their timeline. They're trying to say we're not spinning off from 4 and 5 yet, they're going to spin off.
No,
dude, I think they are. No, I think they're still going to do that storyline. But I think they're going to spin off at the same time.
I think they'll introduce some older characters in this, and then they'll introduce them in 6, reintroduce them in 6 to give you something.
A reason to buy 6?
Yes.
And maybe you play as those characters instead of the team of Jack White.
You know, possibly you'll get introduced to another team that's doing something somewhere else, and then they sort of slide that in.
You're so hopeful. I love you, man.
I'm not saying I'm just saying. I mean, it's the way it's the mentality of of people that when they screw something up, they don't want to admit they screwed it up, so they're going to try to fix it.
But that's how I know they're not, because they know they screwed up and they're admitting it. You don't see this often where that's why I'm amazed you found it where they go, Gears 4 and 5, we're not abandoning it. We thought it was good. We thought it was good. And this is not a spinoff. 4 and 5 we're very satisfied with. I'm like, that's coping. That is, you know what that tells me? That means Microsoft said, those games fucking sucked and you know it, bitch. You better get us a good Gears game.
This might be a way to introduce Keegan into a younger Keegan into the game as well.
Hey,
if you don't have Cole, you have Keegan.
Yeah, he was. Remember, he was he was Onyx.
Yeah,
dude. If they introduced Scorpio before they got in trouble, and they go with Scorpio, we both win. E-Day into Team Scorpio follow up. Q and Bloodaxe, Gears guys. You know, and he would be correct because he just said they may introduce a younger version of characters to put them into the series to have your reason to keep playing. And if they decide to do a dual story of the Suck Squad, and which one less on top of that because of the ending, so the Suck Squad and Team Scorpio, me and Bloodaxe will just play the Team Scorpio part, and then he's completionist, so he'll get his wife to help him do the crappy one. And I'll go, how was it? He'll be like, I wish I wasn't a completionist like he usually does. I'll be like, it's okay, man. Let's go Scorpio. Let's go Scorpio. Yeah. And we'll go Scorpio and wash his palate and the bad taste out of his mouth.
Flynn says, hopefully E-Day shows why they started giving the troops steroids. Remember, they did that after the Locusts kicked their butt.
Well, no, you saw that in the fight, dude. Marcus is getting wrecked, man.
Yeah, and they do say this is the origins of a lot of things in E-Day. So that may be another one of the origins.
They had to bump him up. I like the fact they showed you what happens when a normal human tries to fight a friggin' locust. And he is literally like beating him against the ceiling, the floor, and I'm like, the locusts are very strong.
And I mean, you look at his size; he's not a
small dude,
a small specimen of human. You know,
but remember they created, like you found out in 3, they engineered the locusts. Yeah. They are super soldiers. So then they started super soldiering the Gears. They're like, okay, man, come here.
Anyway. So with that, we're gonna probably wrap up, guys. Definitely Xbox beat Sony's showcase out of the.
Dude, this is not just the best showcase out of 2024, and I'll say out of 2024, this is the best showcase I've seen in years.
Past 2 years.
Yeah, like this is the best showcase I've seen in a really long time.
No Elder Scrolls 6.
Dude, they're nowhere near. They haven't even. I told you, they're still picking the font for the title. I didn't tell you that? They're still picking the font for the title of the document that says when they're going to start on it. It ain't even a start. It's the page that says when we'll start on this.
They say they have a somewhat playable version of Elder Scrolls 6.
Elder Scrolls 6 is in development hell. You know that.
All right, guys. With that, we're going to wrap it up.
Bethesda can't even make the game playable when they release a game. You think the demo's playable?
All right, I need to go cook.
All right, guys.
Characters are floating off into the sky.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com where you can find links everywhere we are online, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube